Climate change is largely driven by human activity. The increasing concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere has led to a rise in global temperatures with serious consequences for life on Earth. Mitigation and adaptation are the two basic approaches to fighting climate change. To mitigate climate change means to prevent, reduce, or avoid human-made greenhouse gas emissions. In other words, avoiding the unmanageable. Climate change adaptation, on the other hand, seeks to manage the unavoidable. It helps people to adjust to the effects of climate change that are already taking place, for example, by improving early warning systems for extreme weather events. Switzerland has taken on the responsibility to share its experience with development partners around the world, both in mitigating climate change and in adapting to its consequences. Central to the success of many Swiss projects is their focus on specific areas of Swiss know-how. This includes hydropower, renewable energy, cleaner production, finance, and risk management. In many projects, these climate-relevant skills have been successfully transferred to partner countries. Together, SDC and SECO implemented about 500 projects between 2000 and 2012, which were assessed for their climate change effectiveness. The total budget dedicated to climate change for this period amounted to 1.32 billion Swiss francs. This is 5% of the overall ODA funding provided by Switzerland during these years. All in all, Swiss climate change projects were moderately to strongly effective in reducing greenhouse gas emissions and in increasing people's abilities to cope with the impacts of climate change. The effectiveness of Swiss projects also improved over time. As experience and awareness of climate change increased, projects were designed with more explicit targets on climate change. During the climate conference in Copenhagen, countries all over the world agreed to provide more funding in addition to their existing budgets to boost climate action in developing countries. This so-called Fast Start financing was allocated to SDC, SECO and the Federal Office for the Environment through the 0.5% bill to the Parliament in 2011 and amounted to 140 million Swiss francs. These funds were mainly assigned to well-performing existing projects and multilateral partnerships. This allowed building on the accumulated experience and existing portfolio of climate-relevant interventions. Here, Switzerland showed a strong focus on adaptation projects, which is unique compared to other countries. Based on the findings of this assessment, recommendations for further improvements in the future are: apply more precise methods to measure climate change impacts and effectiveness. Include climate change as an aspect of all development projects. This is also called mainstreaming climate change. Improve coordination of SECO and SDC regarding their global processes, negotiations, and implementation of climate projects at the local level. Above all, development cooperation puts people first. This is why poverty reduction and climate change are closely intertwined. Projects within the Swiss climate change portfolio showed great impact on issues such as food security and sustainable forest management, and thereby contributed to strengthened climate resilience of the poor.